All right. So, how is everyone? Happy Friday. Shabbat Shalom, if you keep Shabbos. So, I haven't done remote viewings live for a long time. So, I thought that I would go ahead and give people a remote viewing because I was working tonight. I was trying to do a remote view and I found myself on the Senate floor. And people are whispering on the Senate floor. There's a lot of attention. I keep going to Lindsey Graham because I think he is the Trump whisperer. But the senators, the Republican senators, are surrounding one another and they are talking about a whisper and not they are whispering amongst themselves about this situation, and some of them are trying to be gentlemen and trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. And we'll see how it plays itself out, gentlemen. There are people that are being appropriate and there that are truly naive, and they're the best foot soldiers, right? So there are people in the Republican Party and Senate that are like that. They aren't going to believe anything until let's just see how this plays out itself out. Then there are two or three that are in serious panic mode, possibly more, but definitely three. Lindsey Graham being one of them on the top of the list, along with Murkowski and maybe Collins. But there are others now. So you have this kind of feeling that they are whispering amongst themselves. They're whispering amongst themselves and they don't want to get afraid until there's more evidence. So, but you can feel this energy. Then you put your attention towards the House of Representatives, and it's very different. I feel, as Mike Johnson, that it is a cafeteria with high schoolers and adolescents that are gossiping amongst themselves and they're moving around in their chairs, and I'm standing over them watch of these kids, adjourning them, and I'm trying to keep them controlled a little bit as Mike Johnson. And I feel that I am telling them to scoot their chairs in, that cafeteria is over, and you are to go to your Thanksgiving. It's time to go. You're going to beat that holiday rush and finish early. Yeah, well, we got to go. It's Thanksgiving. And then the other thing I'm going to ask you to do as Mike Johnson is I'm going to ask you to turn your phones off and go silent. No talking to the press, no talking to your local press until this thing can be sorted out. So they're out of there probably, I would think. When is Thanksgiving? Right around the corner. But they could be leaving early to avoid questioning. And how much time do we have before Thanksgiving? I'm so terrible with these sorts of things. The 27th. Yeah, so it's now the 14th. He tries to get them out of there early. It's going to look pretty weird. It's going to look pretty weird. They're being told to turn off their phones. They're going to try and drag this out as long as possible and get to recess. You know, can they survive? Can they survive before Thanksgiving recess? In the hopes that by the time Thanksgiving is over, they'll have some way of explaining this. But there's also a feeling when you go into this that they can't control the leaks because the leaks are coming from everywhere. And that's also creating anxiety, tremendous anxiety, because the ship is going down and they know it. It's a very rocky time right now. Imagine it is a ship and you are part of his cabinet. And that is what this feels like. And you can see the water is coming up. You're on the Titanic. That is what this feels like. And you're trying to hold on to the filing cabinet that's starting to sway and the documents that are starting to come out. And you're not going to be able to survive this. And at what point do you bail ship? Who remains? Who's the true loyalist that's going to drown with this thing? And who are the people that see the writing on the wall and run for the hills? All right, I want to thank you for watching this remote view. If you'd like to come in for a reading with me, you can find all the information below. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. Thanks a lot. Bye.